It's been a while since I've been on the webcam, so I wanted to give you my opinion on the top four teams in the upcoming college football playoff ranking. Who I think will be ranked in the top four. Number one team, in my opinion, has been LSU, and they played the toughest schedule so far, and they've won every game that they played so far, and they have the toughest remaining schedule, so they end up undefeated. I think they will end up being the number one seed in the college football playoff. Second best team in the country so far this year to me has been Ohio State, and I know they've been through a lot of things up and down. I know the last 3 weeks, though, they've been playing extremely well. JT Barrett was their quarterback, but now there's some uncertainty after he was cited for the DUI last week, so he won't be playing in the Minnesota game, but it looks like he will be able to get himself back into the starting lineup when he returns. The third best team in the country to me so far has been Clemson. And Clemson probably has the best win out of all four teams that I've picked to be in the top four so far. Clemson went at home and beat Notre Dame, and they've won every other game. The ACC has had some very good teams in it, and I think Clemson continues to win. They will end up undefeated and in the college football playoff. And the team that's number four is TCU. And TCU gets the nod here because I still think TCU wins the Big 12 this year. And I would pick Baylor in this spot, but two things. Number one, Seth Russell, their quarterback, is injured, and I think that kind of tips the scales in TCU's favor. The other thing that I think goes in TCU's favor is Baylor's schedule. Baylor has not had the same schedule that TCU has had, and really when you look at the Big 12, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Baylor, and TCU all still have to play each other in Big 12 play. So the month of November is going to tell us a lot about which of those four gets out of it. But I think right now TCU is the best of the four. So I got LSU at number one playing number four TCU, and I got number two Ohio State playing number three Clemson. Now the two teams I think that are on the outside looking in, Alabama would be number five for me. And Alabama does have one loss, and there are so many undefeated teams in front of them. I think as the season progresses, they're going to have the most opportunity to prove themselves worthy of being in the college football playoff. Obviously, the big game is Saturday against LSU. And then after that, they play a very good Mississippi State team. They have to get rid of Auburn, and then they play in the SEC championship. Now, Florida, if they end up winning the SEC East, which they have Vanderbilt next week, so it does look like that's going to happen. Florida plays Alabama or LSU in the SEC championship. It gives the SEC one more marquee game between ranked teams. So if that takes place and if Alabama wins out, then Alabama would definitely be in the conversation to be in the playoff, if not in. The other team that I think is on the outside looking in is Michigan State. And Michigan State will have a chance to play Ohio State in a couple of weeks. But whoever gets through the Big Ten might get through it undefeated because Iowa's sitting on the other side in the Big Ten West. And if they end up going undefeated, which everyone thinks that they will, whoever comes out of the West, whoever comes out of the East between Ohio State and Michigan State will have another chance to prove themselves. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Big Ten ends up helping itself or hurting itself in the month of November. So it's going to be a great November. It starts this Saturday. There are a lot of huge games, and we're looking forward to it. And I know this top four is going to change before the season ends.